keep apart from people, because when we keep apart from them, we are helping them. So to remember that, let's sing that song. If you're happy and you know it, wash your hands, wash your hands. If you're happy and you know it, wash your hands, wash your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, wash your hands. If you're happy and you know it, wear a mask. If you're happy and you know it, wear a mask. If you're happy and you know it, then you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, wear a mask. If you're happy and you know it, keep apart, keep apart. If you're happy and you know it, keep apart, keep apart. If you're happy and you know it, then you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, keep apart. If you're happy and you know it, stay at home. If you're happy and you know it, stay at home. If you're happy and you know it, then you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, stay at home. That's it for now. But let's go back a long time ago when I was working at Bedoya, Ferguson Island, with Sister Benedicta again. She was the nurse and I was the teacher. There were just the two of us there. And every week her nurses used to go out on their patrols, their health patrols, and sometimes Sister Ben would go with them. So this time she went and she found a little girl who was beautifully kept, beautifully dressed, beautifully clean and well fed. But she had a problem. Her head was much too big for her body. She couldn't sit up, she couldn't stand up, she just had this great ball on her head. When I was young, we used to call it water on the brain. The head was like a big balloon full of water, and nothing could be done about it. So Sister Ben could see how tired the mother was, so she said to the mother, "You bring Angela into the clinic and we'll look after her for a week, and you can come home and you can have a holiday for a week. You can work or you can fish or you can sleep. You can do what you want to do without worrying about this little girl." So the mother said she'd think about it. The next time the nurses went out in the boat, Angela came back with them. The mother came with her and took her up to the hospital and settled her in and talked to her and told her what was going to happen. She was going to stay here and be happy, and plenty of people would come to visit her. So she stayed. And every day, Sister Ben would take her out and put her underneath the big rectangle, big square place they had outside covered in, where the women used to come with their babies for treatment. And all the little children would run over to see this little girl who was lying on the floor. And they'd sit round her, talking to her, talking in their language, and she'd answer them. She didn't always answer them. Mostly she repeated what they said. So every day I used to go up to the hospital to see Angelo and visit other people. But when she was there, it was mainly to see her, to keep her company. And whatever I said, Angela would say, and she would say it almost exactly the same as I did. So I'd say, "Good afternoon, Angela." And she'd say, "Good afternoon, Angela. And how are you today? And how are you today?" Whatever I said, Angela came back with it. But she was always just lying on her back, looking up at you. We wanted to take her to school, but we couldn't take her to school because she was lying flat on the floor. But then Brother Carroll came. Brother Mick Carroll was a great carpenter and a beautiful furniture maker. And he saw this little girl lying on the floor and he decided to do something. He made a small chair. It had armrests, it had a back, and it had a special place for her to hold her head. It had two padded sides on, so to hold her head up, it wouldn't fall down. It was back. Oh, everybody was so happy Angela could go to school. So the boys came and carried the little chair over to the classroom, and Angela sat in the classroom. But the problem was, every time the teacher said something, Angela repeated, "Good morning, children. Good morning, children. Sit down. Sit down. Open your books. Open your books." At the beginning, everybody laughed and thought it was fun, but after a while, everybody got tired of this repeat echo coming in the classroom. So the teacher, who was a very good teacher, he did it for a long while. He did it for about 3 days. And after 3 days, he came and he said to me, "Sister, we really can't keep Angela. Angela will have to go." So Angela had to go back to the hospital. sitting in her chair or lying down on the mat with plenty of people coming to her. Angela was everybody's mission. Everybody came to her. She couldn't go to them, but everybody, the mothers, the children, the teachers, the nurses, and myself, I came to Angela. We came to Angela. Just one little girl who needed us. So look out for somebody who needs you at this time. Maybe you can find an Angela to look after at this COVID time. It might even be somebody in your own house. Goodbye for now. See you again later.